Boruto 2 Blue Vortex Chapter 11 is finally dropped, and things are definitely heating up from where we left off in last month's chapter. Himawari's deep connection to Kurama has given her healing abilities better than anyone else in the series. And Boruto finally makes another epic appearance, showing everyone once again why this is his story. We also get to see more of Sarada and Hidari's exchange as the Shinju are slowly but surely learning more about themselves and the world around them. Hey everyone, welcome back to AJ Anime, and here's everything you need to know about the newest Boruto chapter. So starting off with the cover page, this month's chapter is titled Serious, which connects to something Jura says later in the chapter, but we'll get to that later. Anyway, the focal character for this cover is Hidari, with all his borrowed Sasuke drip looking like a total badass. But no, seriously, these covers continue to impress me with their dynamic colors and artwork to really show off each character's design. So far, I'd have to say that Chapter 9's cover with the Inoshika Cho trio is my favorite one. Like, it was definitely album cover worthy. But what's your favorite cover so far? Let me know in the comments. Moving on to the chapter, we start off with Himawari jumping down from Jura's trap and using the power of Kurama to heal Inojin's fatal wound, who we all know joined the Donut Club in Chapter 10. Now, as busted as this feat was, it definitely makes sense how she could pull this off. In the past, we've seen Naruto use the Nine-Tails chakra to heal others, like what he did to Sasuke in the Boruto movie when he treated the burns on half his body in mere seconds while still fending off Momoshiki. He also healed major damage done to himself, like when he fought against Sasuke in part 1 of the series. When he was stabbed through the shoulder with Sasuke's Chidori, the Nine-Tails chakra healed the gaping hole with no problems. But there was that one time in the Blood Prison movie when Naruto was pierced through his chest cavity, similar to Inojin's wound, and the Nine-Tails chakra didn't heal him, causing him to actually die. So that must mean there's a limit to the Nine-Tails healing factor, especially if internal organs are involved. But Himawari was actually able to replace Inojin's lost organs and close his wound in seconds, which had Chocho and Shikadai in shock by what they were witnessing. Now, if we take a deeper dive, this could be possible due to Himawari's higher affinity to Kurama's chakra. And let's not forget the lineage here, which goes all the way back to Kaguya, with Himawari possessing Hagoromo's chakra through Naruto, who was the child of prophecy, and Homura's chakra through Hinata, who was the Byakugan princess. Not only that, but the tailed beast chakra originally belonged to Kaguya before Hagoromo sealed the 10 tails within himself and separated the chakra into the 9-tailed beasts we all know. This makes both Boruto and Himawari the only two ninja in existence to ever have chakra as similar to Kaguya's without forcibly combining the chakra of both Indra and Ashura, like what Madara did. And even then, his chakra more closely resembled that of the Sage of Six Paths instead of Kaguya. So it actually makes sense why Kurama revived inside of Himawari as a being living in unison with her instead of reviving somewhere random, if we follow that logic. If you enjoyed that breakdown, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Going back to the chapter, things get tense as Himawari tells Shikadai and Chocho to escape with Inojin and take him to a hospital while she deals with Jura alone. However, Chocho is against the idea of leaving her behind, saying that she can't just leave her, but Himawari says that she wants to take on the responsibility of protecting them if she has the power to do so, because that's what her dad and brother would do. Chocho reminds her of their promise to eat pancakes together, and she leaves with Shikadai, leaving us with a standoff between Jura and Himawari, as Jura questions the decisions the group made trying to stop him and if there was a correlation between Inojin's death and the awakening of her powers, or if it was purely coincidence. And while he's yapping away, Himawari is walking him down until she finally reaches him, and without any hesitation, punches him away, telling him to shut up as he was sent flying. Jura emerges from the rubble and dashes towards Himawari, but she brings her hair strands together to form a tailed beast bomb, prompting Jura to stop in his tracks and prepare one as well. With both firing their attacks at the same time, we get a huge explosion as the bombs collide, which can be seen in the distance by Shikadai and Chocho as they continue to escape. Now, I don't know about you guys, but this panel took me back to the Shippuden days, when we used to see big explosions from the tailed beast, but now we get to see similar explosions on a smaller scale, and I can't wait to see how things continue to develop from here. We then see Jura flying down to the ground and say how he is impressed with Himawari being able to use a tailed beast bomb along with her rapid growth, but says that's all it is as he begins to show the difference in their abilities. He starts with a headbutt, sending Himawari flying, and then appears behind her, kicking her into the ground as she comments on how he's able to finally let loose a little and might actually take the fight seriously, referring back to the name of the chapter. Meanwhile, Himawari picks her face up out of the ground and looks up like she just realized she's no match for him at all. We then switch over to where Sarada and the others are as she questions Hidari about who he is and why he is able to use the Chidori, telling him that she will leave him alone if he cooperates. But Hidari had other plans as he sunk half his body into a claw mark and then reappeared with the injury he suffered from Sarada being healed, shocking everyone around him including Sumire. Hidari then starts to question Sarada, asking about her Sharingan eyes, which Jura mentioned to him before, and if having those eyes would make it easier to use the Chidori, as he noted that it would be a difficult jutsu for him to use. Meanwhile, Konohamaru is like, man, forget what you're talking about. What relationship do you have with Sasuke? But Hidari has no idea who he's talking about, and says he doesn't know anything about Sasuke and that he is looking for the same answer as them, trying to find out who he really is, which is why he came to Konoha in the first place. While he's talking, he manages to sneak his left hand behind Sarada, using a claw mark through his pocket to unexpectedly fry her with a lightning-style jutsu. As the group reacts, and one of the side ninja prepares an earth-style jutsu, Hidari burns him to a crisp with a fire-style jutsu in rapid succession. This prompts Konohamaru to finally jump into the fight, attempting to attack Hidari from the back with a Rasengan, but Hidari instantly teleports behind him and charges up another Chidori to finish the job, but Konohamaru uses a new jutsu called Wind-style Rasengan Barrier, or Spiraling Barrier, which turns the rotation of the Rasengan into a defensive shield made up of swirling chakra to protect himself. This jutsu stops Hidari's Chidori from connecting with him, but the force behind the jutsu still sends him flying. But he doesn't just stop there. As Sumire is checking on Sarada's condition, Hidari shocks her as well, causing Sumire to pass out as Hidari approaches Sarada. We then pan back over to Himawari and Jura's fight, as Jura continues to overpower her, even using a mini-tailed beast bomb to cause further damage to her body. And even though she was able to heal the damage done, her powers were considerably weakened due to the drain on her chakra from healing herself as well as Inojin. As Himawari is laying on the ground, Jura comments on how busted her recovery abilities are, saying that the power she has is more than any human or Jinchuriki before her, and that she seems to live more closely resembling a tailed beast itself. This is when we go inside her psyche to see our favorite mini Kurama admitting that Jura is too strong for them to defeat, and it'll take more than just Himawari having high potential to get the job done. But this makes sense, as it wouldn't make sense in the story for Himawari to be the one to actually defeat Jura, at least this soon. This was more of a moment for Himawari to recognize and accept her powers, because she has plenty of room for further growth, and to gain control over her newfound powers, so there's no telling what feats we'll see in the future. Still though, I'm glad she was at least able to save Inojin, because Ino and Sai would have been devastated, and his death would have been a major blow to the current generation. We then see Delta and Kawaki as they continue to fly towards the battle. Delta is questioning Kawaki about what he plans to do about the opponents who just kicked his ass a few chapters ago, to which he responds by saying he will do what he can. At this point, I don't know if Kawaki's stocks can recover in time, because the disrespect this man has been receiving so far is really criminal. Like, Delta actually asked him what can he do. She knows he don't want that smoke again, and that he's too weak to do anything about it, but all Kawaki can do is listen to her crushing his ego. But at that moment, we see something zoom by them at lightning speeds as both Kawaki and Delta are surprised as they look on to see what passed them like that. And who could it be, you might be asking? That's right, our boy Boruto is back on the move, and he's not playing around this time. Now, if you look at the panel of Kawaki and Delta flying, you can see that they are moving at pretty high speeds, but Boruto speeds past them like it's nothing, showcasing yet again the difference in their powers as Otsutsuki's. Boruto eventually flies to Jura's location, where he swoops in and saves Himawari before anything else can happen to her. At the same time, Hidari prepares to consume Sarada, as his arms begin to form like a tree around her. That's when we see one of Boruto's toads appear in the background with a square-looking device in its hands, as the toad that's with Boruto confirmed Sarada's location to him and that the symbol is a triangle. Boruto then proceeds to perform the flying Raijin technique to teleport to their location instantly, where he used his sword to cut Hidari's hand that was holding Sarada, saving her in the process, as Konohamaru and the other fodder ninja are also shocked by Boruto's arrival. And on the last page, we get a cold-looking panel of Boruto standing in between Hidari and Sarada as he is still holding on to his sister and staring down Hidari, while Jura comments on how annoying his flying Raijin jutsu is, and Hidari just refers to him as Boruto Otsuki. And with this, the chapter ends, and we are left with another cliffhanger for another month. I gotta admit though, Boruto definitely has a way of pulling up to the scene to save the day in a flashy yet cool manner, but it would have been nice to see Sarada and Hidari actually fight a little while longer, especially after seeing their first encounter, where Sarada was not only able to dodge his attack, but countered with her own Chidori. I was hoping to maybe get a glimpse of her Mangekyo Sharingan, but I guess we'll have to wait a little while longer for that as well. And with that, our Chapter 11 review is finished. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to click on the like button and subscribe to the channel for more Boruto content. I would love to see what you guys thought about this chapter, so make sure to leave a comment below to let me know, and I'll be sure to get back to you. See you guys in the next one.